I wonder. Oh, son of a bitch! Oh, come on, what the hell? Fuck this. Hey, what's up, fools and gals? It's me, Ryan.T here, and I'm gonna review Bird Box.
I'm a bird.
Alright guys, like all my new movie reviews, I'm gonna keep it short, sweet, simple, and to the motherfucking point. Alright guys, Bird Box stars Sandra, I sound like a Muppet, Bullock.
I'm a bird.
And it also stars a bunch of like random people that always come out of Netflix stuff. Alright guys, the basic story for Bird Box is, you know what, to be honest with you, I couldn't really even tell you. I mean, I guess the best way to summarize this movie is that it's a film about a crazy heir that like has people like and all fucking nuts and psycho. Essentially, it's like a better version of The Happening. You remember that movie, right? The Happening?
What? No.
Yeah, that movie. It's like a better version of that movie, but it does a little of the bad M. Night Shyamalan things, but we'll get into that later. The movie follows Sandra Bullock and a couple of other people that are, I guess, survivors of this crazy unexplained event, which is really fucking unexplained. I mean, this movie doesn't fucking explain what the fuck is happening at all, ever. So there's these people that are trying to survive in this crazy, I guess you would say post-apocalyptic world, because everything kind of goes to shit. And that part of the film is really entertaining. They kind of focus on that for the first half of the movie, and it's really interesting. I found myself really getting like drawn into this like group dynamic where they're kind of, you know, some of them are falling in love with each other, some of them are being bitter, and some of them, it was really interesting to see how all these different characters kind of reacted to this sort of tragedy. However, the film didn't stay in that interesting kind of group dynamic. It sort of goes back and forth between that group dynamic and fast forwards 5 years later where you see Sandra Bullock all alone with 2 kids, and it goes back and forth between that. And I have to say, the kid subplot with Sandra Bullock and her kids, that's the weaker part of the film, and I feel like the film is aware of that. Bird Box is aware that that subplot is pretty weak, because every time they kind of focus on it, it's only for like brief, like 5 to 8 minutes or whatever. Only to like the very end of the movie they kind of really wrap up that plot, so to speak. But going back to that group dynamic in the first half of the film, it's like really interesting. It has like, it blends in kind of like how I said, The Happening, and it kind of meets the show Last Man on Earth, and it kind of like puts those together, and it's like a good blend. Like I said, I really wish this film would have stayed in that lane, so to speak, and not try to veer off into the more like dramatic territory that it tries to do with the kid subplot. And there's nothing against the child actors. I mean, they don't really give them a whole lot to do other than they have the fucking blindfold on. They're like this, and they're like, huh? Can I look? Well, what is that? Well, what the fuck are we even running from? I don't even know what it is. Like, what the fuck is it? Can somebody explain to me what this is? That's how I felt in the film. You know what? Let me talk about that for a second. What the fuck? What the fuck, movie? I hate when movies do that. I understand kind of leaving something to the imagination and not spelling it out for you, but this movie, like, doesn't tell you what the fuck they're running from, or what the fuck this is, or what the fuck anybody's doing. It doesn't fucking tell you what the fuck anything is. How many was that? Was that a lot? Okay, good. Alright, yeah, but the movie doesn't tell you at all what's going on. It's sort of just, it wants to use that as a strength, but it also comes off as a weakness. I mean, I will admit, sometimes it is kind of suspenseful to not know what is chasing these people. But at other times, it's really fucking annoying when people keep saying, "Ah, don't look at it! Don't look at it!" Well, what is it? Shit, well, will somebody fucking look at it? Well, can we at least look at it? Can us, the viewer, look at it? And that's kind of annoying at times, where you kind of want to see what's going on, and they never really tell you what's going on, or never really show you what's going on. The most we get is some, again, some happening style wind that mimics people that are already dead. Which, that's one thing I've always had a problem with movies that do that. If you already know this person's dead, why are you even believing for a second that it's that person? Like, you know people can't come back to life. Like, what the fuck, movie, quit doing that. We're not stupid. Come on, stop. Yeah, so that's one thing that the movie does, that it's a weakness of it. It focuses on this kid subplot, and it's really boring. I really wish it would have just stayed in that one linear storytelling instead of going like back and forth. That really hurt this film. Another positive thing that this film does is that, again, it's interesting. It's an interesting movie. I thought that it was going to just be Sandra Bullock with the blindfold on running around with two kids, but that also had blindfolds on. And thankfully it wasn't that. I mean, sometimes the movie is that, but when it's not that, it's a good movie. So is this movie worth all the hype on social media and all the fucking memes and all the, like, oh, Bird Box, everybody's like dick riding this movie. So is it good? Is Bird Box a good movie? Well, guys, I have to say, yeah, it's alright. I mean, it's not what everybody's making it out to be, but it's okay. It's a fine movie. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that it's the best movie ever, because it does have some huge flaws. Like, for example, the film, it kind of doesn't follow its own rules. And the last half of the film, it kind of just says, like, the rules. And, you know, there that goes. They just were like, hey, we gotta finish this movie. Who cares about the fucking rules that we so clearly established in the beginning of the film? Because now it's the end of the film, and who cares? So that really annoyed me. The kid subplot was unneeded. They could have shaved off literally 45 minutes of this movie. This movie should have only been an hour and 30 minutes long, because they're literally at the hour and 30 minute mark, there is a perfect ending. That's where the film should have ended, and they kept going with it for another 45 minutes, and the ending that they gave us was kind of not an ending or anything. It wasn't even a resolution, because in a film like this, where there's these entities outside that are killing everything or making people kill themselves, there really is no end to that, because they never find a solution or even know what the hell that thing is. So at the end of the film, you're just kind of like, okay. That's how the film ends. It's just like, okay, yeah. So I guess that would be the general consensus for this film. It's okay. I mean, it by far, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad film, but it's not a great film. I mean, should you watch it? Yeah, I mean, if you're bored on a Sunday afternoon and you're drinking some wine or whatever the hell you like to drink to get fucking litty titty, check out some fucking Bird Box, you know, whatever. I mean, but if you don't like Sandra Bullock, who spends the whole movie sounding like a fucking Muppet, that's one thing. I don't like Sandra Bullock. I don't like her voice. I don't like the way she acts. She sounds like Ray Romano. She sounds like this to the whole movie. Ah, put your blindfold on. Put your blindfold on. Ah. You know what? There was a missed opportunity here. Why didn't they call this movie The Blind Side? Ah, you see what I did there? Yeah. All right, guys. So the final verdict for the film is I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, because again, it is entertaining. I wasn't bored while watching it. It did explore some cool ideas, and the first half of the film was really cool. I mean, I really enjoyed the first half of the film, but the back and forth storytelling, it really hurts this film. Sometimes you're kind of like, wait, what? Did that just happen? How did this connect to this? Because the way they edit it, it sometimes feels like, oh, is this a day later? Or, oh, never mind, this is 5 years later. So it's kind of like, So I wish they wouldn't have done that, because that can confuse some viewers. But so guys, yeah, there it is. It's a 7 out of 10. And if you've seen Bird Box, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. And also don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'll see you guys in the next one.